for staying with us on Africa Independent Television, AIT. Welcome to Democracy Today. I am Ijoma Osamor. "86 days, which is about 3 months or 12 weeks to February 16, 2019, the day scheduled for the presidential election in Nigeria. And about 2 days ago, the AKWA-IBOM State House of Assembly was a part of our focus on the program. And today, we hear that as of yesterday, police took over the premises and changed the commissioner of police in AKWA-IBOM State. The commissioner of police has been redeployed, but this morning we also hear from our correspondent there in Uyo told us that the place has been taken over by security personnel who has locked up the premises of the AKWA-IBOM State House of Assembly. This will be our focus today. As we go into AKWA-IBOM State, we'll be talking with the Honorable that's talking about Honorable Nse, who is also in Uyo. He will join us in a moment, but let's just see what INEC said today about monitoring campaigns of this election.
We are pleased that the focus in the last few days, since the commencement of the campaigns, has been on policies rather than personalities. We sincerely hope it remains this way.
That's the INEC chairman talking about that the commission is set to monitor the campaigns, and they do hope that the players this time, the political gladiators, political stakeholders, will keep to the rules and regulation guiding campaigns in Nigeria. Yes, we're going straight to AKWA-IBOM, where we have Honorable Nse standing by. Hello and welcome to Democracy Today, Honorable Nse.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us on Democracy Today. Now let's get to hear what is happening in AKWA-IBOM State.
Well, thank you, Ijoma. I want to appreciate your effort of trying to reach out to me to know from my side what happened in the House of Assembly.
So what is happening? Because we hear that the police commissioner has been redeployed, and you, in company of two other members of the State Assembly, tried to take over the State Assembly and declared yourself as the Speaker of the House.
Hello?
Honorable, I can hear you.
Okay, let me thank you for inviting me to appear before you and to tell Nigeria what happened. Yes, let me thank you for inviting me to come and appear and tell the Nigerian people what happened in AKWA-IBOM State House of Assembly on Monday. We received the budget from the governor on Wednesday last week, and the House was adjourned till Tuesday the 19th. That was yesterday. And on Sunday, we had a notice. There was notices that were sent to members that the House has postponed and shifted the sitting from Tuesday to Monday. And on the other paper, the place for absence for deliberations were listed. One was the debate on the appropriation bill that was presented by the governor to pass through second reading. And the second one was a commemorative sitting in honor of the former governor and elder statesman, former governor of the state, ABOM Victor Star, in honor of his 80th birthday. Those were the two items that were listed for deliberation. But surprisingly, on Monday when we went, the entire place was barricaded by the police with some hoodlums around the gate, and we were not allowed in. The police said that no sitting would take place, that there was problem. from government that they invited them to come and take over the place, and there was going to be problem. So
but
we left as
Honorable,
citizens.
Honorable,
Yes.
we also
Yes.
heard that you deployed some thugs to the State Assembly to cause mayhem and take over the seat of the Speaker. And you went to court after. That's what we heard. Is that a true picture of what happened?
No, that is not true. Taking over the House of Assembly to do what? When a notice was sent that they would sit, we had to go. I don't know who was there, and nobody knew who was there. Except when we went, and we were surprised to see the police, so many policemen, over 2,000 policemen, barricading the gate, and we were not allowed in, and we left. All of a sudden, we heard that the Speaker and some members from Government House, led by the security people, and some with army, they drove forcefully, and the gate was open for them to enter. When we were called and the Speaker came with some members, we had to rush back. And when on getting back, the Speaker and other members had passed through the back door and then that plenary. If you look at the video, the Speaker was already seated to show that what they did was illegal. The Speaker was seated on seat and was shouting at the sergeant at arms to bring the base immediately. What they did was that the members who became from PDP to APC that seats were declared vacant and mention our names. One of our colleagues who was there tried to enter the security aid of the Speaker hit him by the base of his gun, and he had injury. So what happened was that the fact they immediately ran out and went into the Speaker's office. When we wanted to go in, we were locked down. We were not allowed in. After a short while, they all moved out and ran into the car. I accosted the Speaker in the car when he was about to drive out and asked him whether the city was not going to take place. He said that he was rushing to Government House to see the governor.
So who deployed thugs? Who deployed thugs to the State Assembly then? Was it you and your...
I don't know. It's the government, because I don't know why they were preemptive.
So why did they redeploy the police commissioner from the state?
I don't know. That is a completely security matter. Because even the police commissioner said that sitting was not going to take place based on the information that there was going to be problem. And we were told that all of us left. All of a sudden, the Speaker drove in from Government House with other members and forcefully entered the premises and went into the chambers and purportedly pretended as if there was sitting when there was not.
All right, Honorable Nse, I would like you to just hold on while we go to take the People's Democratic Party reaction. They said a lot, and the National Publicity Secretary Honorable, just hold on. Honorable, just hold on. We will come back to you. You are not leaving us now. But I want you to listen to what they said. Then when we are done with this, then you will react to that. Let's take the National Publicity Secretary and AKWA-IBOM State Publicity Secretary of the spokesman of AKWA-IBOM State People's Democratic Party. Let's hear what he said today.
As you may recall, 2 weeks ago, the PDP had cautioned the Buhari presidency and the All Progressives Congress on their exposed plot to instigate confusion and violence in oil-rich Bayelsa State by destabilizing the security architecture of the state and foisting a siege mentality on the entire oil-rich South-South region. The president, as chief security officer of our nation, never issued a reprimand, nor has Senator Akpabio, up to this moment, been pulled in for questioning by any of our security agencies. It is now clear that the statement is an approved prelude of a premeditated plot by the Buhari presidency as well as the APC.
If you're still there, you heard what the People's Democratic Party from the National Secretariat said, that what happened in AKWA-IBOM State was a ploy by the APC. What do you have to say about that?
What are the National Police Secretary of PDP said is the blatant lie, and there is nothing like that. How can we do that when we are not abiding citizens of this country? Everybody knows our antecedents that we are not abiding. Let's give over House of Assembly for what? All the while, House of Assembly are still at peace. What triggers the problem is for the Speaker to go and sit and declare as his second. When the case are pending in court, so many cases are pending in court. We got instructions to stop the Speaker from declaring as his second. And I have a copy of instruction for him to go and sit and declare as his second. No, I'm not a lawyer, but to me I feel that it is contemptuous as it is not. So we said that it is not treat the law the way it is like. As a lawyer, you know the law better than us, who are some of us who are not lawyers.
Honorable Nse, when you defected from the APC, you went to court, and the court gave a judgment saying that your seat should be declared vacant. Is that the picture?
Sorry?
When you defected from the PDP to the APC, according to what the report we got, that you and your other members who defected went to court, and the judgment turned out to say that your seats and the seat of the five of you should be declared vacant.
Yes, we went to court because after our defection, we belong to the camp of the Speaker. And we kept it even when the government of the state did not want to be Speaker. We supported it also to the level of the point we became. And we invited on ourselves that over the dead body that we will not declare as Speaker, no matter the amount of pressure, that we should not do anything. I said so, let us do this as well. Because out of prison, we will be forced to declare as Speaker. Let us go to court to stop you from doing that. So that even if the government wants to declare as Speaker, you will use that as long as instruction not to declare as Speaker. We went to court and we got instruction. My judge came on last Friday and was adjourned to December 12th. And the Speaker of the church to declare as Speaker. It is the law that we are all law-abiding citizens of this country. And I feel that the Speaker of the former Speaker of the House of Assembly, who is the lawyer to know the law better than us, for him to decide over a matter that is pending before the court, he can have gone to judiciary.
So what are you going to do now? Are you going to appeal the order by the High Court? Are you appealing it so you can remain in the House, or you will go by that order which says that your seat should be declared vacant?
My case is still something in the court. My God, the judgment has been given to that extent. Except on even at that, he got a fair opportunity, he gets a notice of appeal.
Okay.
He gets a notice of appeal. And his motion for day of execution was raised in the court. And today, that judgment has been given. The day of execution has been granted to honor the in that circumstance, as a lawyer, what would the former Speaker do? What would he do? Give him the result of the law. So what we are doing is the reaction to the action to illegality action that we cannot, on the basis of the law, be treated as we don't know anything.
Right.
So we are in front, and he has to go to court because I will take him to court for information or for content. Because the matter before the court, in fact, the judiciary.
All right.
Somebody like that.
Honorable Nse, I would like to say thank you for joining us on the program. We will hopefully have you live on the program one of this day when you have the opportunity of coming around in Abuja. Thank you so much for being a part of the program.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. Yes, we will go straight to take the Information Commissioner from AKWA-IBOM State. He is Honorable Charles Okowu. After this short break, stay with us.
Of our dream, the Nigeria we need is the united, indissoluble, and cohesive Nigeria, which guarantees equity, fairness, justice, and prosperity for its citizens. That is our focus on people, politics, and power. It is fresh, insightful, impactful. It's a must-watch. People, politics, and power on AIT.
Yes, we have the Commissioner for Information from AKWA-IBOM State right here with us in the studio. We are still looking at the issue coming from AKWA-IBOM, the AKWA-IBOM State House of Assembly drama, where some members of the House of Assembly seat were declared vacant. Now, let's get to hear from you. What is happening in your state?
Well, thank you for making our time to inquire, to know what happened that triggered the recent events. Let me take a little step backward. Some members of the House of Assembly who were in the PDP defected to APC. And one of them, out of fear of his seat being declared vacant, went to court. Took the Speaker of the House of Assembly and the entire House of Assembly to court, trying to forestall a situation where his seat is being declared vacant. And then 4 other members who also defected. We recall that AKWA-IBOM State has a 26-member House of Assembly, and so in total 5 of them defected to the APC. And so together they all went to court, trying to seek an injunction to prevent the House of Assembly and the Speaker from declaring their seats vacant. The state government, the legislature, nobody took them to court. They went to court on their own volition. Lo and behold, the court judgment came out, and then the Federal High Court in Uyo passed judgment declaring their seats vacant.
Okay, it's not as if the members in the House or the Speaker of the House just declared their seat vacant.
Now, like I said, that's why I gave a bit of a background. The members affected went to court, took the House of Assembly to court for no reason, trying to preempt the action. Of course, the Federal High Court passed judgment and served the Speaker the notice of the judgment. And of course, the Speaker of the AKWA-IBOM State House of Assembly, being a law-abiding citizen, and then being a Speaker of the House of Assembly, and on top of that is a lawyer, could not have ignored the order of the court. And so, of course, because the court had given him that order following the judgment, of course, he convened the House to sit and deliberate on the judgment. Of course, those seats were duly declared vacant as ordered by the court.
But we saw some drama. We saw talks from the video and the footages that we saw yesterday coming from AKWA-IBOM State.
Well, that was the 5 affected members who tried to disrupt the sitting of the House of Assembly by bringing in hoodlums and thugs to try to wreak mayhem within the premises of the House of Assembly. The police in the state rose gallantly and prevented the House of Assembly from being destroyed, and that saved the day, and lives were not lost. Of course, by the time the police had done their due, discharged their due responsibilities and left, 3 members of the House of Assembly, 3 of those members whose seats were declared vacant, broke into the House of Assembly forcefully and held a session, just 3 of them. Recall that the House of Assembly is made up of 26 members, and 3 members broke into the House of Assembly and held a session where they comically nominated one of them as the Speaker. But of course, that's a comedy show anyway, by the look of things. But the reality is that, first, let me reiterate this point, that neither the Speaker nor the House of Assembly instituted an action to declare those seats vacant. The events that led to the seats being declared vacant were triggered by the people involved, the 5 members of the House of Assembly who defected.
Now, if you said the police saved the day yesterday, how come the police commissioner is being redeployed?
Well, it beats the imagination of everyone in AKWA-IBOM State. It is a sad commentary for a democracy, where a police commissioner who duly rose to his duties gallantly saved the situation. No lives were lost. Properties of the House of Assembly were not destroyed. Hoodlums came in party branded vehicles, to wreak havoc in the House of Assembly, and the police officer duly discharged his duties. It's a sad commentary. And then if you permit me to give a bit of a background, recall that a few weeks ago, the Commissioner for Environment of AKWA-IBOM State, whose duties include protecting the environment, of course, outdoor advertising, was apprehended by law enforcement agencies sent from the headquarters in Abuja, bypassing the zonal structure, bypassing the state structure. The chairman of your local government was also apprehended for issues bordering billboards. Recall that billboards and outdoor advertising resides within the Ministry of Environment in AKWA-IBOM State. And so if the commissioner is duly discharging his duties as specified by the law he was sworn in to observe, and then he's being apprehended, and then shortly after that, the entire campaign hierarchy of the government of AKWA-IBOM State were summoned to Abuja to come and write statement on billboard issues.
But what we heard is that the commissioner ordered that those billboards be pulled down because the billboard
well, first and foremost
of the APC candidates.
Well, that's erroneous. Now let me give you a background. I'm happy that you're giving us this opportunity. There are basic laws guiding installation of billboards. Safety must be in place. Structural integrity must be in place. Material integrity. Now, when you give an approval for a billboard to be located at Site A, after considering all the health hazard, security hazard, and everything that is involved, and then you give the approval with a certain specification in terms of height, in terms of structure, in terms of material, and then the guy who receives the approval now goes out to implement that approval in a different location using different sets of specifications of materials and design, then it puts everybody at risk. And let me say clearly, the billboard was approved for a location that was safe and conducive for human and every other and properties. However, members of the opposition went to install the billboard in the middle of a busy market, the biggest market in your town. Now, you and I know that if for any reason, even in the course of construction, materials would drop, there are people down there selling, hawking, women, tomatoes and all that. That's a busy market square. And then even when you finish constructing, if for any reason any of those materials fail, you can imagine the number of lives and properties that will be destroyed. And then the commissioner Judy said,
it seems the billboard is a big one.
Is the mega billboard that towers maybe about 4, 5, 6 stories. Now,
let's take it back to the issue of the House of Assembly and the police. Do you think that the law enforcement agencies, that's the police in this respect, is partisan? Because you're sounding as if what they did is that they took side.
Well, I think I personally am at a loss, and I also know the good people of AKWA-IBOM State are at a loss, because what is the offense of the police commissioner? Would he have allowed people to set the House of Assembly on fire? Would he have allowed people to kill people? Now, none of those happened. The Speaker came, of course the House of Assembly sat and did what they had to do, legally binding on them by the laws of the country. And then, because of insinuations by the chairman of the opposition party on another national TV, the next day the police commissioner is being evicted. And the question is...
Insinuations. What's the insinuation?
Well, the whole of today, I think, well, the whole of today being 20th of November, we've had news commentaries on a sister national TV where the chairman of the opposition party has been ranting and casting aspersions on the office of the governor of AKWA-IBOM State. And let me say clearly here, there's clear separation of powers. The legislature and the executive operate by separation of powers. Now, the governor of AKWA-IBOM State, nor the executive arm of AKWA-IBOM State, had no hand, had no relationship. They were not the ones who motivated the 5 gentlemen to go to court. They were not the ones who motivated the 3 gentlemen to go and act a comical show in the House of Assembly. Now, the 5 gentlemen went to court, and the judgment turned against them. And of course, the judgment was served on the House of Assembly, and the Speaker duly carried out the directive.
So what is the
chairman of the APC, national chairman of the APC, has gone on air on another national TV and alleging that the governor of AKWA-IBOM State manipulated that. And the question is, how did that happen? And so here, what we call on people to do is that people should guard their utterances.
Okay.
Public office holders, irrespective of where you are, we have Nigeria as our country. We need to protect Nigeria first. It is not about being partisan, but you need to guard our utterances. We need to also ensure that law enforcement agencies are non-partisan. Law enforcement agencies are here to protect you and I and everyone involved, and not to dance to the tune of one segment of the society.
All right,
if
sir.
law enforcement agencies begin to dance to the tune of one segment of the society, it means that our democracy is at risk.
All right, Commissioner Udo Charles, I would like to say thank you for being a part of this program. Hopefully, we'll invite you as the issue, we get more development from this AKWA-IBOM state issue. Thank you for also joining us on the program Democracy Today. Remember to follow me on my Twitter handle at EJ Osamor. Until tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Good night.